Hi, folks. I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. Normally, the mayor and I have a guest on this program, but since this is the last program we're going to be bringing you in 2017, it's just the mayor and I today talking about what went on this past year, and what we can look forward to in 2018. A little recap, if you will. Mayor, how you doing today?
How you doing, Gene? Thank you for having me again.
Good, Mayor. How are you? How you doing? How you feeling?
Good. I can't believe this is a year-end wrap-up.
I was just going to say year-end wrap-up. We were just talking about it a minute ago.
Wow, I remember New Year's Eve like it was last month, and here it is, a year has almost passed.
I know. Well, I want to make you feel a little different too, Mayor. This is halfway through your second term now.
I can't believe that either.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I feel great. We've done a lot of good things. The town has come 180 degrees from where it was almost 6 years ago.
Well, you've certainly been busy in 6 years, I'll tell you that.
This is a big town. It's a big job. And I think we've had a lot of success in what we've done. And it's not just me.
Right.
It was the team we've put together. So I think if you want to look back 6 years as opposed to 1 year, we've accomplished a lot from where we started. And each year I think we've raised the bar each year. And we're still, 2 years ago I said, I'm not putting my feet up on the desk. It's not over.
Right.
Working every day I come here, we're just going to keep working harder and harder and harder, because there's so much to do.
Well, Mayor, I think what I'd like to do is maybe just bring the folks back a little bit and touch on a few key points if we can.
Okay.
One thing I think this year particularly impacted the township was the retirement of some very key people in the township.
Yes, some key people left either retirement or moved
on to new positions,
new positions, which I encouraged them to always improve. Chris Marion moved to the county, Monmouth County.
But we lost Sam Rizzo, who retired after 35 years.
Tom Babcock, our Parks and Rec.
Right.
Debbie Depew. The list goes on and on. People are retired, and I encouraged them, to be happy, enjoy the rest of their lives. And we've had to replace them, and so far so good.
And we had two replacements. Catherine O'Kane has replaced Sam.
Homegrown Old Bridge, is our planner now. Who would know better?
Right.
What the town has been, the history, present, and where it needs to go based on who's living here.
And Matt Mercurio has just joined as new Parks and Rec.
Again, Old Bridge guy with kids, as they call, skin in the game. Very smart. Really optimistic, and I think really good things are going to happen over in that department over the next few years.
Okay, well, Mayor, one thing I think we should probably recognize too is Himanshu Shah, our Director of Finance, acting business administrator.
Because Chris, it's hard to when someone like Chris leaves, trying to fill that and become, you want to get at least equal or better.
Right.
And so far, I haven't even found anyone equal.
Really?
So between Mr. Shah and myself, we've assumed that position, and we're trying to keep what Chris had, implemented. We're trying to keep that moving forward, that same type of mindset. And Chris and I shared a lot of things in common.
Yes, sir.
So we're doing, and Juancho's doing a great job.
And he was just
recognized. We make a good team, as
recognized.
Chris and I made a good team.
Right, and he was just recognized a Distinguished Service Award.
Yes.
By the New Jersey Municipal Managers Association.
Yes, at the league this year, we had a luncheon, and
Yes, sir. Oh, really?
Mr. Shah got his 15 minutes of fame up there
Okay.
at the podium. Delivered a nice speech. Thanked all the towns that he's worked for. Thanked Old Bridge for the opportunities he's been given in life.
Okay.
And Mr. Shah has taken advantage of every opportunity he's been given.
Well, good. Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, if I can touch on a couple of other accomplishments, maybe we just want to mention them a little bit. I understand there's been a lot of labor stability brought about in recent negotiations.
Talk about a turnaround.
6 of the contracts.
6 years ago, when I came into office, none of our bargaining units, our labor represented by organized labor, none of them had contracts for up to 3 and 4 years.
Really?
They were in arbitration, they were in mediation, they were just stalled, they weren't talking to each other, the administration and the labor. And that was a priority, that we get these people. Nothing's worse than a disgruntled person coming to work who's not happy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So we focused on it, and here we are 6 years later. We are in our second and third round, and sometimes we've settled. We have long-term contracts with, I think we have maybe 2 more unions that will be settling.
I think 6 out of the 8 have been settled.
And we're close with the other 2. Anytime you have to negotiate, it's difficult.
Oh, sure.
And what we've brought professionalism to the tables. There's no attitudes. And that was different 6 years ago. I can tell you those negotiating meetings were horrible. I didn't even want to be in the room.
Really?
Because of
the attitudes
And they were well-deserved because for years prior to me getting here, I believe the people in this town who worked for this town were used as pawns. We always saw them at the budget meeting. Hey, if you don't pass the budget council, we're going to get laid off. You never used the people who work for a town like that. So we sat in the room, and we've settled. The town has gotten give-backs. We've been able to compensate our employees because of our sound financial position now.
Right.
We've been able to give raises every year since I've been the mayor.
And it's brought some stability, I understand, like 4 or 5 years out now, things will be quiet, huh?
Yes, we just settled some long-term contracts. So there's some things happening at the state level that was threatening to destabilize.
Really?
So we said, let's settle now, and let's go beyond these couple of years that might be a little bit of turmoil, as they like to say.
So you got it out in front of it, in effect?
We're out in front of it, yes.
Because you don't know what's going to come out of Trenton now with a new
And the people in the room realized, a sure thing is better than a maybe thing.
Oh, yeah,
2 years
definitely,
from now.
definitely.
So
Okay, Mayor.
it's worked out really good, and I'm very proud of all our workers, very proud of our negotiating team. Mr. Shah stepped in there, Matt Jacoby, our attorneys, and thank you to all the union representation that sat in the room and we worked the problems out as professionals.
Well, I think the employees have a peace of mind from that, too.
They do,
They feel
and you
better.
can see the difference.
Yeah, they don't feel as stressed. Mayor, one other thing I noticed been in the works for, you mentioned a long time, and number I heard was 25 years you've been trying to consolidate all the vehicle maintenance in the township with all the various units that have them, public works, parks, police. Finally came about?
Well, it was one thing they said that could never be done. When I came
Really?
in, you always look into, we always manage.
Yeah.
And when I saw 3 vehicle maintenance departments, in a town this size, I said, we should really merge
Right. It
those
seems
vehicles,
like-
get all the mechanics, get all the cars, get all the trucks, in one building, under one person managing that department. And they told me, you'll never get done.
Really?
We're
It seems
gonna
like
have
an
Parks and
evident
Rec.
thing, something laying right out in front of you to do.
And it finally got done this year.
Really?
We finally convinced enough people. The chief was the last holdout, the chief in the police department. And then the chief saw, I said, and then he was instrumental in moving the police vehicles into Public Works. And now we are servicing more vehicles, cost savings. So everything is better now.
I was just
with
going
the
to say,
vehicle
there had to be
maintenance.
some cost efficiencies in all this.
Tremendous
Yeah.
cost savings. When you have a pool of mechanics
sure.
now, not 1 or 2 dedicated to, now you have a pool of mechanics that can jump in at any given notice of one, if the police vehicles, we're swamped with police vehicles, they can all go over there and get the police vehicles done and out.
Right.
If it's Parks and Rec, if it's Public Works, if it's a snowstorm, all our mechanics now can dedicate themselves to the snow removal equipment.
Right, okay.
So-
Good, Mayor. If I can touch on another thing, and we talked on this, I think, a couple weeks ago, Steve Mamakis was in, and we talked about the state of business development in the township. As we discussed, Mayor, the township has seemed to light up the last couple of years. I know Steve's been a hard worker. There's been 80 new businesses open in the township, but why has Old Bridge suddenly
Because Old Bridge
caught on
becomes
so
very attractive, Gene. We're very attractive when you look at all the statistics and all the data that's collected and kept. And any new business looks at that data and they make a decision. You don't want to go to a town that is on the downswing, where people are leaving, or you look for a need. There's a lot because we're such a big town. There's a lot of need for services here in Old Bridge. People don't want to drive through Old Bridge and into the next town. So let's bring the business to the people.
Right.
And they do their homework, and it's been a success story, and we're tenacious. Steve and I are tenacious when it comes to business. We try
I
to
know.
recruit. We try to maintain, retain our businesses. We try to help them expand. And we've been very successful, Gene. As you said, we cut 80-something ribbons. And it's very difficult because there's a lot of competition out there.
Yeah, that's
we're
what I was saying,
surrounded by
there's a lot
7 towns.
I know.
So when somebody's opening a business, they look at a lot of information. They say, and when they pick Old Bridge, we have to be there and say, yes, good job, good pick.
Right, right. It seems to have worked too, because over the years it's always been talked about, but it's never really germinated the way this has in the last couple of years.
And we've had a fine balance of bringing like the warehouse, the hotel,
Yeah.
these small businesses that said they were going to go by the wayside because we have the 2 Walmarts. They're going to put everybody out of business.
Right.
Well, that didn't
Didn't
happen.
happen, yeah.
Didn't happen.
Well, they just started a new project over on Waterworks Road.
Yes, that's
the
the
Kennedy.
warehouse.
That's the Kennedy.
The Kennedy International.
Logistics or International.
It's our first big, one of those mega warehouses,
Yes,
about
sir.
315,000 square feet. If
Really?
anybody drives by it,
Wow.
you can play 4 football games inside
On
of
Waterworks Road, huh?
it. Waterworks Road. And again, we were tenacious. We allowed them to go a little higher so they could stack one more pallet, higher. So and that, when it comes to that many square feet, it's a lot of volume of stuff that they can keep in a smaller, footprint.
Well, it's a great idea, but over in that spot too, that spot has always been
Yes,
sort of
and we've
way
always
out
said-
of the way.
yeah, we've always said, I always looked at it as a
way.
third world country back
Right,
there.
yeah.
So this is the first to show all these other landowners. It's an area in need of redevelopment. And
Right.
So there's advantages. There's pilot programs available for people who own that land now to see what Kennedy's doing and the value that they have brought
Yeah,
to that.
good point.
And they're in the same position. So we're looking to work with anybody back there.
Mayor,
who
how's the
wants to-
hotel doing?
Hotel's
the
doing
hotel,
good.
is it coming along?
It's coming good. They did all the site work. I believe a contract was signed with now who the provider's going to be. I believe it's Hampton Inn.
Yeah, I Hampton Inn. I
Hampton
understand,
Inn.
yes,
So,
sir.
so now they're taking over the project and they're going to
Okay.
build their product.
Okay.
So they're looking, I believe, the end of 18 to open.
That's around the corner the way time's been
Yeah,
flying lately.
we'll
It'll
be talking next
it'll be
year
here
from
tomorrow,
the
but
hotel,
yeah,
maybe, Gene.
we'll be
We'll
here
have our
next year.
show.
Mayor, one thing I noticed, opposite the hospital and the medical arts building, there's ground broken for something. What's going in there?
We have a Dunkin' Donuts.
Is that it?
On
I don't know.
northbound
It's-
side, Dunkin'
yeah,
Donuts.
I just happened
a
to be
little
over
tiny
there the other
shopping
day.
center with a Dunkin' Donuts, and I believe about 3,000 square foot of medical/commercial space.
Okay.
Cleaners, maybe. I don't know. But a
Okay.
small little shopping center is going to be there, and I think it's going to be a great location because that's the first stop coming northbound.
No,
on
northbound,
18.
right.
It's the first place you will hit coming up from
Yeah.
either Route 34, the Parkway.
Yeah, and Ferry Road is a popular cross street too.
Yeah,
so
it's
it should
across
pick
from
up
the
a lot of
hospital.
people,
So I think they're going to do very well there.
Okay. Mayor, one thing I think has helped the township is the tremendous success of the school system. The school system seems to be getting all
no-
kinds of plaudits lately.
no
I see
doubt
the
about it.
Cheesequake School just received a national blue ribbon.
Yes.
The school generally, with National Schools of Character, again, Mrs. Citadino's got to be pretty happy.
That's one of the commitments I've made to the school district, Gene. Where the school district goes, so does the town.
Yeah, as a part of the whole business plan. as we've
It's a
talked.
business plan. If you
Yes,
have a
sir.
good school district, a good school system that gets results, that provide top-notch education, and it becomes a draw.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why the property values in Old Bridge have skyrocketed over the
Right.
last couple of years, because we've gotten this information out of how good the school system
Yeah,
is.
they've done
So parents want to come to a town,
Right.
good quality of life, and a good school system. Low taxes. We're the lowest tax town in Middlesex County. We're below the state average. So we represent good value. Not to say that taxes aren't expensive.
Oh, sure.
But if you go anywhere in New Jersey, you're going to pay school taxes. But I believe you get a good value for your money here in
Yeah,
Old Bridge, where your
and the
taxes.
benchmark, as you say, you add that to your presentation on the business success generally, it certainly helps you out.
Yes, and the school district has played a major role in our success.
Okay, well, thank you, Mayor. Mayor, if you could hold your thought for just a moment.
I'll try.
Okay, folks, we're getting ready to take a break right now. Mayor Henry and I are discussing 2017 in review. Some of the things that have been accomplished. We're going to be taking a look ahead when we return. Please stay with us.
Nori is a beautiful 2-year-old female. She is playful, outgoing, and very social. She enjoys being petted and playing with cat toys. Nori is positive for FIV, and she is often overlooked because people don't know a lot about that. FIV cats can live long, healthy lives. Nori is a lover and gets along well with other cats. FIV cats and non-FIV cats can live together with a knowledgeable pet owner. She would also be perfect as a single cat in a household. Nori deserves a loving home and a family of her own for the holidays. Please stop by the Old Bridge Animal Shelter to meet this very special girl.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to Old Bridge Outlook. Today, the mayor and I, working alone without a guest, we're just talking about the year in review, what happened here in the township in 2017. A few minutes, we'll discuss where we're going in 2018. Mayor, if we can pick up a little bit, we were just talking at the break about the business development in the township. One of the things we had the imagination, I would use that word, to do is to apply for a position in the Amazon
Yeah.
pantheon of things.
Yeah, if you watch the council meeting, it's available. You'll see
Yeah.
a presentation. You can go online and see the full presentation.
Yes,
What
sir.
we submitted for the Amazon is looking for a new headquarters here on
Right.
the East Coast. Steve and I had saw it in the paper, and we both called each other, and we said, why not Old Bridge? You know, we met all the criteria, and in fact exceeded that criteria
Yeah.
when the things we've talked about in the first half of the show,
Right.
with the school system, with the quality of life, with the taxes. We have our hook in the water with 238.5, but that's a
yeah.
lot when it comes to over 5,000 towns.
It sure is.
In the country. And if it's not Amazon, it might be a subcontractor. It might be another business, another Fortune 500 company looking from around the United States to get a footprint here on the East Coast. Because with Amazon comes other,
Oh yeah,
a lot more,
huge halo effect.
yes, it's
Yeah,
a
but you know the
ripple.
thing is, that Steve and I had talked about it, is that it brings just tremendous publicity to the township. In
Exactly.
any
We got a
case,
lot of
that
good
we're a player.
publicity from it. Again, we talked about Katie O'Kane. She did that. It would help from the engineering department, but she took the lead on it. And we did it in house. Most towns probably spent $50,000 to $70,000
huge
preparing
amounts
a
of money. I
document.
read the numbers.
So we did it all in house within about 2 weeks, and you can't say enough about the people who put it together.
It's fantastic. I
And
did
if
agree.
it's a great exercise it was a great exercise for me because you get a chance to list all your assets, all your good traits, all the
Right.
reasons why, not only Amazon, but why this is out there, like you said, a business.
Yes, sir.
Let me move to look at this.
Yeah.
So it's a good exercise, and I think we're going to do it maybe once a year. We'll go there and we'll update that as Old Bridge becomes now, and more things happen, as you said. We'll keep including that and
incorporating
updating
them,
it.
yeah. Okay, Mayor, one thing I noticed is that the senior center, the Bush Center, a couple things there. A little refurbishing is taking place.
A lot of refurbishing, new
A lot of
floors.
refurbishing.
We're painting the wall. We did the walls. We painted the walls. Now we're doing the ceiling. So we did a whole makeover inside. It looks completely different.
Okay, and it's going to be rebranded, I understand.
Rebranded.
Tell us about that, will you? Well, it's going to go from Bush Center, Senior Center. What's happening?
Yeah, everybody puts that stigma when you call it a senior center.
Yeah.
Nobody
Well,
wants to go to a
definitely.
senior. I'm not a senior. I don't want to go to a senior
Right.
center. So our staff is rebranding it at Silver Linings.
Is that a national program or a national brand name?
I don't
Silver
think so. I don't
Linings?
know.
It's
I don't know.
appended to these kind of.
But there's a lot of research going on nationwide, as we had talked about.
Yes, sir.
What programs are experienced? Population, as our country grows older, so does our town.
Yes.
People are living longer. And it's very important that the community that you live in give you the opportunity to have a good quality of life after you reach that age or that point in your life, as young as, I think, 60,
Right.
or as old as 100, to have activities, programs that really work.
Well, it's an interesting thing. As a marketing guy, I was interested when I heard that. It's called in marketing positioning. How do you position things? Position from a senior center to a Silver Lining Center. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to do it.
It's and we have a great program. I can't say we're accredited in the state of New Jersey. Can't say enough about the staff over there. They do a
Oh,
great
yeah,
job.
they do.
Enrollment keeps growing, which is good.
Yes.
You go over there, the place is full.
Full every time we've been there, yeah.
And the seniors, everybody has a smile on their face in there.
And that's what you want.
And that's why I love going over there.
Yeah. Okay, Mayor, one thing came up this year big time, I think, was the whole battle against opioid addiction in the township. And we managed to put together this coalition. That's starting to take place now.
Yes.
The school system, the hospital, the township facilities, Old Bridge.
Unfortunately, we still,
Teen
like every
Alliance.
town in the country, it's an epidemic. And a community has to do everything it possibly can and it's a huge spectrum of programs, starting from education, with the prevention,
Yes, sir.
with the enforcement, with the treatment, all the way to the grieving part of it. So, and Old Bridge, I think we're at the cutting edge. We have
Yeah.
everything. Everyone who might have an addiction problem here is right here in Old Bridge to help you, battle that addiction and become productive member of society again. And and each time we meet, we come up with something new. We're even going to start with the Business Alliance. We're going to start a program where employment. That's the toughest thing for a recovering addict, is to
Yes.
get back.
Yes, sir.
Employment, a sense of worth. And then we're going to be working with the businesses here in Old Bridge to offer employment for people who have, who are clean and want to stay clean and want to become productive members of society. and it's so important.
Oh, yeah, because
the
I
relapse
think-
is just.
I was just going to say, just having that on your record, though, makes a businessman, I think, shy away because reliability,
But that's the
stability.
difference. Old Bridge makes a business step forward and said, "Yes, we will.
Yeah.
We will, and if we can't employ, we will contribute to businesses that can employ,
Can employ. Good idea.
recovering addicts or children at risk."
Right. Okay, Mayor, thank you. Mayor, we just had an election, okay? Council
we do every
election,
2 years.
Which every 2 years. A council election. It was a bit of a large number of new people coming to the
Yes. I don't
to
know if that was the
council.
largest
5
turnover we've ever had. I don't know.
I don't recall a bigger turnover in my time here. 5 new members coming to the council.
Mm-hmm.
The mix is going to change from 8-1 Republicans to 6-3 Republicans. What do you think of the chemistry?
You know,
you have any
the
feel
politics
for it
of it never, and I always said that, Gene, 6 years ago.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm a Republican because of certain values that I have.
Right.
But the problems here in Old Bridge, they are not Democratic, they are not Republican,
exactly.
they are problems.
Right.
And I don't let politics get, I don't care what party you're affiliated with. If you have a good idea, it's a good idea.
Right.
And if it's a bad idea, it's a bad idea.
Yes, sir.
So that's
I
the way
agree
I
with you.
look at it. I've expressed my opinion to all our council people. If they want to play politics, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. You know, politics is expensive, and if they want to, as I call, disrupt, you know, all this progress that we've made, if they have a better idea, bring it forward. You know, but don't just vote no to vote no because I'm a Republican, or you because you don't like me.
But that's happened a little bit on the council. You know, it's become very segmented.
Yes.
Certain factions.
And anybody watching
you know.
TV can see that.
Yeah, they see that.
They
you know,
see
we're
that,
not saying anything.
and I've been fortunate enough where I've been able to get through that.
Yes.
You know, when we've had a good idea administrative-wise, we've always had full support of the council. I think you see a lot of that back and forth bickering when it's
That's what I mean,
issues
yeah.
that
Yeah.
nobody really that they care
It becomes
about.
very parochial. And
Yeah,
there's-
where
yeah.
it's a waste of 15 minutes, a waste of my time
Right.
to sit there
Yeah.
and listen to council go back and forth about issues that really aren't on the front burner.
solving the problems, as
Right,
you
yeah,
like to say.
causing
Right.
problems.
Mayor, one thing, 5 of these people, all 5 of them are first-timers to the council. They have a learning curve, or do you orient
Oh, there's
them in
definitely
any
going to be a
way?
learning curve.
How do we work that?
Definitely. Well, we had orientation. We brought all the newly elected council members, and we spent the whole day with them.
Really?
Yes, we brought them upstairs. I sat and talked with them for, maybe a half hour.
This is
explaining-
both parties? This is
Everybody,
partisan?
yeah, so of
Okay.
course, yeah. And then I introduced them to everyone in the team. I filled the conference room with my team.
Okay.
And they were awestruck. They were all in awe.
Yeah.
By the time that hour and a half passed, and every person on my team got up and spoke what their department was doing, how they're doing it, what they're doing better, and how the township runs. And I think that's that learning curve.
Right.
A lot of people don't really understand how this township runs, and that there's
I'm
rules
sure.
and laws and statutes that govern what we do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I'm always optimistic. I'm always optimistic. Glass is always half, it's half full.
And they have got to welcome this, being newcomers. They've all got to
course.
be a little gun shy, taking that chair for the first time.
Yeah, well, a lot of times they form their opinion based on misinformation,
Right.
based on people who've been here before,
Yes, sir.
and weren't successful.
Right.
And so they tell them, what's going to, how it's going to be. And I think when they see the other side of it, how it can be, with good leadership, and we don't run from problems. We tear right into them, and the team that we have in place to make them, and that was our goal, to make them good council people. That's our
Right.
goal, to make them provide what their constituents need and want.
So even at this stage, you didn't see any party politics coming out, huh? At this stage, too early.
There's a couple of faces, a couple of frowns, a couple of,
Right.
what would you call them, sighs.
Sighs,
You know,
yeah.
when we started listing the
Right.
accomplishments that we've done over the
Right,
last
yeah.
6 years, and we had a couple of,
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, some people don't know how to handle success.
Yeah.
But no,
Well,
I can't wait to start working with the.
Well,
with
I
the
tell you,
council
I
members.
salute anybody that takes that job, though. Anybody that runs for office, public office, like yourself or anybody else, I really salute them. It's tough work. I
especially
think.
now, and it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Every election cycle gets worse with the social media.
Yeah, well, that's it. Everything hits around you, over
Everything.
you, under
You can say anything you want, whether it's
know.
true or it's not true.
What's the word our president uses? Fake news?
Fake news, and sometimes it gets personal.
Mm-hmm.
There still has to be
Yeah,
honor
just-
among politicians.
Absolutely.
And it seems like we've lost that honor here in Old Bridge.
Well, I always think you got to stay on the issues and away from
Exactly.
personalities.
Say-
You can't get into personalities.
Attitudes, egos, agendas, personalities, all expensive.
Yeah.
If everybody just focused on
The issue, key
facts,
issue.
in
Yeah.
reality, as people say, don't let them get in the way.
Don't- yeah.
Don't let the
What-
facts get in
what
the way.
Mark Twain said, right?
And stick to that and make good decisions. We're not always going to agree on every issue, which
No,
we
of
shouldn't.
course not. No, you shouldn't. No.
You shouldn't agree
Agreed.
on every issue because sometimes I get it. My mind has made up, and all of a sudden, 2 or 3 days later, just processing the information, I could maybe
go through it
waver
different,
a little bit. That's why I don't like to. Oh, you don't say enough. Well, I like to think before I speak. Some people don't think at all. You know,
No, but I think
sometimes
that's
it
a
goes
good
in the ear,
point.
spins around, it comes out the mouth. I don't know how it processes that
Doesn't
way.
get processed. But
Yeah, how you can get some information and then make a statement.
yeah, well, it's going to be an interesting year in that way, Mayor. I was wondering, as you look at your crystal ball, which I see you brought along,
It's on my desk. The
it's
magic
on your
8 ball.
desk. 2018. What do you think? What can the people look forward to?
I
in
think
2018?
continued success, continued progress, continued growth, continued financial success. We're going to keep working hard. We're going to keep, and as as I get older, we get better. We get better. We get better. We everything. We try to get our hands on everything and make it better.
Do you see any new initiatives, any new business development
I have
initiatives, or the opioid team? Or?
Well, the opioids, we're going to keep whatever, we're going to be proactive with the opioid, discouraging that there's talk about legalizing marijuana. I know maybe a lot of people,
Yeah.
want to hear that. I don't know. From what I've heard, it's a gateway drug. I mean, driving under the influence of marijuana is just as bad as driving under the influence of
I don't
alcohol.
understand it.
So I see our police officers having to, if it
Yeah.
is made legal,
Right.
to deal with that. But we're going to keep moving forward, Gene. There's a lot to accomplish. Initiatives, and my goals I've set for an adult program for special needs. So 21 and older now, we're going to can stay in Old Bridge, not have to go outside. We're talking
Right.
with program directors that run these programs for adults. Completely different because it's insurance driven. So it's very different than our Camp Robin program. But we do
okay.
have adult programs at Camp Robin, but they're only, like at night, Friday nights. I
Right.
want this to be a Monday through Friday program for people with special needs. Where we've talked about enhancing some of our parks, maybe coming up with a nice investment in some more fields. We're going to do a needs assessment and see what we need, whether it be a soccer field or a lacrosse field. I look for an expansion of recreation facilities down in South Old Bridge, where the majority of our development
Okay.
is occurring.
Right. Okay.
Continue to work with businesses and get these, make sure that Old Bridge, everybody in Old Bridge has the services they need, a place to go for whatever they might need.
Okay, Mayor, I'm getting a sign that 2017
Cut.
is drawing to
It's
a
over.
close here.
2017
Mayor, I want to
over.
wish you a very
Gina, thank you.
happy holiday
This-
and best of luck in New
The
Year.
entire staff of this studio.
Appreciate your support all year and enjoy
pleasure.
baby Joseph Owen.
That, Gene, when you talk about accomplishments, and we're going to go over, but I can't say how blessed I am to have that little boy in my house. It's,
He's a little
It's
character, he
emotional. I
really
really, and to, God has been good to me, but giving this little boy to raise, and they call him Mini Me already. He's my little clone.
We'll keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna. As he gets older, he's going to be spending more time with me here.
Okay.
The
We'll get him on the show,
The
too.
trains are up and running. We have our display up and running in the mayor's office.
Okay.
We'll get a video of that and put it up on the website. Anyone who wants to come and see the trains run.
Okay.
Well,
Well, thank you again, Mayor. Really appreciate it. And folks, I
you.
want to thank you for supporting Old Bridge Television this year. We want to wish all of you a very healthy, happy 2018. Please look forward to watching us again in 18. See what new is taking place in the township. I'm Gene McLaughlin, and we'll see you next time in 2018. Take care.